It's week 2. How did this happen? Oh my god.
Hello and welcome back to week 2. So this week I had some pretty simple goals to go for the video. The first goal was I wanted to get some combat stats up. I felt a little newbie with 3 attack, 3 strength, 3 defense, so I decided I wanted to buckle down, do some questing, and unlock those a little bit. I also wanted to get my agility ready for Anachronia, and I also to prep for editing because I wanted to be able to AFK fishing while editing. So that's kind of what this video covers. There's some fun surprises in here, so I hope you guys enjoy.
Another easy quest done. Look at those levels. I am pretty much PVM ready at this point. Just finishing up a fire making daily here. I told myself I was going to keep doing combat quests, but I know that Sea Slug has a 30 fire making requirement. And I thought to myself, we're ready here, we're doing fire making. May as well finish it off to 30, so that way we can just do Sea Slug and then move on to the rest of the combat quests. So that's what we'll be doing next. And there's 30 fire making, so we'll be running and doing Sea Slug next. Let's be real, guys. Kenneth doesn't care about the slugs or the fishermen. He just wanted a ride on the crane. Just finishing up our second weekly Herby Werby, which means that we can buy the herb hack sack, which will be super nice for Slayer and farming, so our herbs don't go into our inventory. Another quest completed, that's Merlin's Crystal, so we can now run and do the Holy Grail. This is literally my sleep paralysis demon. Also, can we talk about how easy this is relative to old school? And with that, we have completed the Holy Grail quest. So we got some nice defense and prayer levels here. So that should keep us tidied over. I think I'm gonna go do Witch's House next to get some HP before we do Fight Arena and some of the other combat quests. Alright, it is time to fight for our lives. I've seen that the other bosses are pretty weak, so I'm hoping that my Batwing is going to be enough here, but let's find out. Stage 1 complete, no issues yet. It's hidden a little bit harder, but nothing we can't manage here. Second stage complete. Okay, this is really starting to hurt. They're hitting me for a full trout at this point. Alright, 12 food for the last little bit here. Not going to be an issue at all. Oh, Jesus, no. Woo! That was so close! Oh my god, okay.
Now, I know I don't really care about my hardcore's life, but I am not trying to die at Witch's House, so that was a little too close of a call, but we did end up beating the wolf and ended up getting 26 HP. So we were a little bit safer now, and we were able to do the rest of our combat quests with a little bit more of a peace of mind that we had a higher HP. Definitely needed to get some higher tiered food though, now that we have a higher HP level, because the trout just weren't going to be cutting it for these boss fights. So after Witch's House, I decided I wanted to do Fight Arena, and this very peculiar thing happened.
What? Hello? Oh, you just can't surge.
So I originally thought it was the fact that I was in combat that was an issue, but then I went back in and they were still aggroing me. So then I was like, okay, I've got to take off my armor. Maybe it's the fact I'm wearing non Khazard Guard armor that they're gonna attack me. And I don't know what this glitch is. If anyone here has experienced it before, but they would not let up. So I decided to do this quest under the attack of the guards. And with that quest complete, we only had one left, the Tree Gnome Village.
Tree Gnome Village complete. Very exciting. some nice attack levels. But more importantly, in my mind at least, we can now use the spirit trees to both find evil trees as well as teleport to them. So that's going to make doing that on a day-to-day basis much easier.
So with the combat quests out of the way, we were now ready to focus on unlocking Anachronia agility. So we started with Tourist Trap. Again, notice that the boss was pretty easy to beat, to be honest. It seems really inconsistent when it comes to old bosses, whether they're super easy to kill or super hard to kill. But luckily for us, it was really easy to do. And we got to choose what experience we put it in. So we ended up doing it into agility. Fletching would be the next best option, but I'm not going to be touching that for a while. So we ended up with 29 agility, which meant that we only had to do one more quest or a few laps of a course. With both combat and agility out of the way now, our final step was to unlock Menaphos so we can start fishing while editing. I think if I had to rate quest series that I enjoyed the most, it would definitely be Vampire at number one. I think that's a really well developed storyline, dialogue, and all that stuff. But number two is definitely got to be the Desert series. There's so much really well written content, and the fact that they were able to replace Prince Ali Rescue with Stolen Hearts and then chain that into Menaphos, bring Menaphos into some of the older ones, and kind of tie that all together. I personally just really appreciate that.
Stolen Hearts completed.
In the next quest, though, Ozan and I got stuck in some quicksand and eventually got stuck in this cave down here where he came on just a little strong.
Hang on. I think I can feel a torch. No, that's definitely not a torch. Sorry about that.
Anyways, so once we finished that quest, we talked to the new Prince Ali to start the Jack of Spades quest. Did some sort of floaty surfer thing across the desert and took a look into the depths of riches of Menaphos that we would be exploring later on. But the rest of the week was pretty simple. I finished Catherine's Little Helper, decided whether I want to do ratch catchers or not, so obviously I didn't do it. Did a rune crafting daily, some more beehives, tribal totem, heart stealer, once upon a slime, Plague City, Song from the Depths, which by the way has the best soundtrack ever, so listen to it. Troll Strongholds, Troll Romance, and then we finished off with Anachronia and upgrading the first round of our bases from talking about it in the first video. Okay, so here I am, sitting here, preparing to edit video number one, and I see this in my inventory, and I'm like, my clan realized before that I got Bubbles, literally my favorite pet. Like, it's week 2. How did this happen? Oh my god. I love him so much. Look at him float around. He's beautiful. So I just wanted to take a second to talk about my plan for evil trees and why I think they're super important. Evil trees are a daily distraction and diversion, or a D&D, that players such as myself can do twice a day. The D&D works by evil trees spawning across the many worlds of RuneScape, and adventurers coming and fighting the tree by cutting it and burning it down, being rewarded for our efforts afterwards. Each world in RuneScape has its own timer for the tree, each spawns a different level of the tree between normal and elder, and has a different location for the tree. So it is rather inefficient on a day-to-day basis to be running around looking for these trees. Like most communities in RuneScape, Evil Trees has its own friends chat that is dedicated to helping the community get the best gains possible in Woodcutting XP. This friends chat, which is called Evil Tree FC, is known for giving out the spawn locations, times, and types of trees to the community. Now, why would I do these trees? Well, to most people, it's pretty obvious. I just said it. It is the best XP in the game for woodcutting. But for Ironman, it's not quite that simple. Since my primary goal of this account is to max, I need to allocate my resources accordingly to ensure that I'm not creating XP waste pointlessly. For example, let's take a look at fishing and woodcutting as our example for this. If, when I'm training fishing, I keep advancing to the next highest level spot, eventually I won't be able to keep up with my cooking level, and thus I will be creating XP waste when I should be focusing on lower level fishing methods to ensure that my cooking experience is keeping up with it. In the same respect, woodcutting, not only do I have fire making to worry about, but also construction experience, so I need to allocate my logs accordingly. Now, when training construction, you have two main options. You can either break the bank on mahogany logs, or simply train it with teak logs, which is much more cost effective, but it does come at the cost of having to do longer methods as well as needing much higher quantities of the log. And as money is more limited on Ironman, most choose the teak route. The main issue here for Ironman, as anyone who plays Ironman knows, there is a very small gap between the experience you get from cutting a teak log and building with one. This means that if you wanted to get 99 construction and 99 woodcutting simultaneously, you would need to do about 94% of your woodcutting experience cutting 144,000 teak logs. But why am I telling you all these numbers? Even if we completely ignore fire making, it makes no sense why any Ironman who wants to max efficiently would do evil trees. But like with most games, the Ironman meta changes. And after the 16th of November, 2020, the Ironman construction meta changed forever. For the first time in forever, RuneScape 3 saw an echo update of old school RuneScape's content, which was known as Mahogany Homes, released in RS3 as construction contracts. Construction contracts offered a less intensive way of training construction, but more importantly for Ironmen, it was cheaper. Upon completing the contracts, adventurers received a lump sum of experience based on the contract completed. The higher the level of the contract, the greater the lump sum. This update brought significant increases to the XP per plank used, but it did sacrifice the amount of experience per hour that could be acquired. For Ironmen, this update drastically reduced the number of planks we needed to collect for 99 construction from 144,000 teak planks to a measly 26,000, which makes up for about 18% of our total woodcutting experience. This means that we're not only able to complete construction in a timely manner, but it also allows us to begin thinking about fire making as well. So, coming full circle back to evil trees. With construction contracts, we have access to one of the highest experience per hour methods, but also the reward that allows us to auto bank logs after defeating an evil tree. This allows us to bank all of the teak logs that we collect and thus minimizes the amount of time that we need to run to and from a bank. In RuneScape, there are two main locations that teak trees are accessible and efficient to use to gather them for construction. The location that we will be focusing on is on Karamja, the Hardwood Grove. The Hardwood Grove is super easy to access with only requiring Jungle Potion and paying a small fee of 100 trading sticks per entry. My personal method of acquiring trading sticks would be to go to Al-Kharid and mine the common gemstones. These give us jades, opals, and red topaz, which then we can cut and sell to Gabooti and use these trading sticks to access the Hardwood Grove. Anyways, that's it for this video. We've made tons of gains this week. Very happy with our progress. This was my first attempt at doing an informational section in my videos about kind of what I am doing and what's going on in my mind. I do plan ahead for a lot of these videos, and what some might seem super simple to me might not be super simple to some of my viewers, and I've definitely had some people message me about why I'm doing a particular method or asking me questions about the game. So if you liked or disliked this, please give me a comment below. I could do a full guide instead, or I can keep them in the videos, whatever works for you guys. Just let me know what your feedback is. Anyways, thank you for watching and hope to see you guys next week.